What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the spot. We kick back and react to all kinds of different things. All right, so what we got going on today? Food Theory has dropped a new one. Interesting. McDonald's finally fixed its ice cream machines. All right. You know, things are always broken. I don't even mess with McDonald's like that. I'm not a big fan of their food, but this sounds interesting because one thing that we've all known is that their ice cream machines are never, ever working. I think that was one of the things that made me stop going to McDonald's originally. Oh man, but are they fixed? Are they fixed for real? Let's see what they have to say on this one. Let's go.
Okay, all you Mickey D lovers, I've got good news and I've got bad news. The good news is that finally our tax dollars have been put to good use. And by that I mean the US government has stepped in and cut the legal red tape preventing McFlurry machines from being fixed. The bad news, your local machine isn't getting repaired anytime soon. Hello Internet, welcome to Food Theory.
What a fake out there. So they're gonna remain broken. They're fixed because they're technically fixed because they're allowed to fix them, but it's probably not going to happen.
The only channel that looks at a broken McFlurry machine and says, I can fix her. And technically, now I can. You see, these machines have a bit of a bad reputation of never working. There's even a whole website dedicated to tracking which ones are out of service. And let me tell you, some of these estimates are harrowing. Apparently, 1/3 of McFlurry machines are down in New York City at any given time. And nationally, 15% of McDonald's can't deliver on the sweet treat. There's a reason why these machines have become the butt of so many jokes and memes. In a previous episode, we've covered the extensive list of reasons why McDonald's is at keeping their machines running. The long and short of it is that repairing a McFlurry maker is a legal and financial headache for store owners. Recently, however, the US Copyright Office opened a metaphorical bottle of aspirin for franchisees. And in theory, this should make it so that their machines are never broken for long. But while a never-ending, free-flowing supply of ice cream makes for amazing headlines, the truth, buried under the surface, is that nothing's really gonna change. Yeah, sorry to be the guy smacking your ice cream onto the floor, but the fight for the right to repair has only just begun. Real Hamburglar heads know that it's a gamble.
Fight for the right. So, talking about legal action, what's going on? I'm late to this one. What legal crap is getting in the way of them fixing the machines? Like, they have a legitimate excuse to why they're not getting fixed? Okay.
Almost every time you want a Golden Arches' frozen treat. That's just the way it's been for
I must have missed
decades.
the past
Even
episode.
as a small fry myself.
I feel like they addressed this in the past episode because he's talking like they've talked about this before. Let me know if I missed something. I feel like I did. I feel like I need to go back into the archives of the Theory channels.
I learned early on to steel my nerves for disappointment in the likelihood that the soft-serve machine was on the fritz. But to understand how society was conditioned into curbing our expectations of the reliability of the McDonald's ice cream machine, we have to go all the way back to the beginning. In 1956, Ray Kroc, the founding owner-operator of the McDonald's franchise business, made a handshake agreement with the Taylor Company to act as his exclusive milkshake machine supplier. And the two companies still honor that deal to this day. It's kind of honorable, in a way, if you completely and utterly ignore how the Taylor Company has used their contracts to put the freeze on McDonald's franchisees across America. Since at least the early 2000s, McDonald's has been using Taylor's C602 ice cream machine, which is infamous in the biz for its unreliability and dysfunction. An internal survey from 2000 conducted at McDonald's locations revealed that 25% of the 100 stores surveyed were not serving ice cream products due to faulty machinery. That is a huge red flag considering that McFlurries only went nationwide 2 years prior. So what happened? Well, basically, Taylor's machines have a multitude of dairy-laden pipes that are prone to bacterial contamination. To combat this, the machines have a self-cleaning feature that requires that the machine goes through a 4-hour heat cycle. During this cycle, the machine heats up to 151 degrees Fahrenheit for 30 minutes to kill any bacteria, and then cools down to 41 degrees Fahrenheit so that it can go back to chilling ice cream. If anything goes wrong with this temperamental equipment during this time, let's say if it takes longer than 2 hours to go from blistering hot to exactly 41 degrees, then the machine will lock itself out. Once it's locked, there's basically nothing McDonald's employees can do. Sometimes they can get get lucky and just restart the cycle, but most of the time, this means that the ice cream machine is just completely bricked until it can undergo human maintenance. In a sensible world, this would mean that a manager or owner would just open it up and do the repairs. But in a sensible world, Ryan Reynolds would also be my best friend. Sometimes the world we actually live in is just cruel and doesn't make sense. Point is, the hardworking angels who craft my morning McMuffins are not to blame here. The real culprit behind the out-of-order signs is actually Taylor, whose exclusive rights to operate in thousands of McDonald's across the country also includes the exclusive rights to fix the machines themselves. So when a Taylor machine spits out an unintelligible error code, only a certified Taylor technician is allowed to access, interpret, and diagnose it. And by the way, this can't even be bypassed in secret, because the key to repairing Taylor's machines is a literal digital key held exclusively by their technicians. So barring any...
Wow, are you for real? You know what really, hearing all of this, what annoys me the most? They're broken not because of anything actually failing, but because of a freaking sensor error when it's going through its cleaning cycle. Which is, the cleaning cycle is not really technically cleaning. It's not like they're running water through it. It just heats up to the point where it kills all bacteria. Basically, it's hot for too long and then it just stops working. Oh, man. And this one error has been the culprit. Please tell me that there's more than one error. If this is the only error that's been making this happen, I swear. I swear. That is hilarious to me. But really sad when you think about it. And the fact that Taylor's taking this approach, you would think that they would want the ice cream machines to work. You know? But they're probably making more money out of this deal, forcing them to have to pay them to come out and fix it. That's probably the thing about it, most likely. I mean, is it worth having the bad reputation though? I don't know. Maybe because they think they're getting passed off. McDonald's is going to get the blame for and the reputation for it, and they're just going to be another company and everything. I don't know. The way people think, the way these companies think, it's crazy sometimes.
By the way, this can't even be bypassed in secret, because the key to repairing Taylor's machines is a literal digital key held exclusively by their technicians. So barring any store owners going sicko mode to loot an engineer's corpse, the only option is to request an expensive Taylor technician to travel out to your location. And with over 13,500 Mickey D's in the...
Right there, expensive technician. Exactly. So they basically have this deal to hold McDonald's by the balls while they force them to pay out for repairs. That's pretty much what this is about.
US, that translates to waiting in a long queue. Believe it or not, this frustrating scenario is all a result of the very law that prevents you from burning DVDs, the Digital Millennium Copyright Act, or DMCA. Maybe you've seen those letters if you're a filthy, dirty, no-good pirate who's tried to look up some free movies online, which, legally, I have to say, shame on you. You deserve prison time and to be fined an atrocious amount of money by a billion-dollar company that's completely willing to erase that very same media for a tax write-off. Stop trying to download cars, pirate scum. So, yeah, the DMCA doesn't just protect record...
I love how they did that the most sarcastic way ever. I love it.
companies from Napster or streamers from Kiss Anime. It prevents restaurateurs from repairing the hardware they pay thousands of dollars for. And hey, this isn't just plaguing the McFlurries. Equipment that locks itself out via inaccessible error codes is common in plenty of commercial kitchen devices, from espresso machines to ovens. And that's not even getting into all the other essential devices outside of the restaurant industry. Farmers with John Deere tractors often miss vital weeks thanks to simple error codes. There are even hospitals that can't repair medical devices like defibrillators without manufacturer-appointed technicians. You know how much of a bummer it is when you go to McDonald's and there are no McFlurries? Now imagine that unreliability when you go to the hospital and you need to reset your heart. Once again.
And that right there just goes to show why we need younger, smarter, and more people who are more aware today in government and everything. Like, I don't talk politics, or like, don't talk to me about political sides because I don't choose any and everything, stuff like that. But when it comes down to some of the dumb shit, especially when you see them at these hearings talking about anything that has to do with technology, anything that has to do with the internet, they're fumbling around so hard because they don't understand. And then they come out with laws like this without actually flushing them out. And we have situations like this. The Copyright Protection Act was meant to stop pirates from downloading music and videos and stuff, but it got so out of hand that now we can't get vital equipment repaired when we need them to be. This is why these old people need to let the younger people step in. I swear. Look, younger than me, okay? People younger than me. I'm in my 40s. We need people younger than me in government now, because these old people are too out of touch. They're making laws without knowing what they're doing. I don't even know who wrote the law. I don't even know who wrote it, but I know they're too old to be writing it. I already know that for this particular issue.
I should drive home. It's the piracy that's the problem with society. This is all thanks to Section 1201, a two-part law that made it illegal to bypass software locks known as technological protection measures, no matter how badly you're craving that grimace shake. Part 1 of the law,
or how badly you need that medical attention,
states that no person shall circumvent a technological measure that effectively controls access to a work protected under this title. Snore. Basically, if there's any sort of digital lock out there, even if it's a small piece of software for what is essentially just hardware, you are not allowed to crack it. The second part of Section 1201 makes it illegal to create and sell any device that would circumvent technological protection measures. This essentially means that you can't sell any McFlurry machine game sharks, which is a thing that actually did happen. In 2019, a dark horse entered McDonald's land when a company called Kitch invented a way to connect to and interpret the Taylor C602's internal communications to provide franchise owners with clear data and analytics in the event of a breakdown. But this victory over the milkshake machine was, short-lived, because after around 500 Kitch orders were placed by franchise owners, McDonald's emailed all restaurant locations in November of 2020 instructing them to remove Kitch devices immediately due to the violation of the Taylor company's warranty. As a substitute, the email offered a suspiciously similar device called the Taylor Shake Sunday Connectivity. Now, to play totally legally manufacturer's advocate, the argument often given is that these DMCA lockouts are for safety. After all, we've all seen modding communities go out of control. Look at Lee and his 1,200 Skyrim mods. At your own risk. And on the other extreme...
Oh yeah, them Skyrim mods. Them Skyrim mods are fun though. You be doing all kinds of crazy stuff. Oh man. It seriously makes up for how broken the game can be at times.
Of that spectrum, there are actual safety issues with modding. Unauthorized adjustments to the software of something like a smart card could be a serious danger on the road, so it makes sense that manufacturers would want legal protections for the locks that keep their software safe. I mean, if we really want to stretch our imagination, there could be a multiverse out there where a McDonald's employee goes rogue and alters the cleaning protocols of the C602 and creates a limited edition Bacteria McFlurry. Certainly, Taylor wouldn't legally want to be on the hook for that, because even if they clear their names in court, they're never going to outrun the McFlurries gives small town the McDirties headlines. But in all fairness, this sort of...
But they're fine with the machines always being broken reputation. You see, this is just how they think. This is just how they think.
of defense conveniently ignores the reality of what's going on. Before the DMCA, plenty of manufacturers made hardware that could be improperly altered to pose a danger. But the liability there wasn't on the manufacturers, but the repairman. For instance, if a mechanic fails to service a car properly, and then that car gets into a wreck due to improper maintenance, it's the mechanic that's liable for the negligence, not the car's manufacturer. So while safety may be the title of the song they sing, the reality is that these manufacturers are more interested in the tune of cash register cha-ching. Taylor, for example, has a whopping 20...
Or when they say safety, they're not really talking about your safety. They're talking about their safety. Safety from being sued. That's what they're focused on more than anything else.
5% of their income generated from fixing faulty equipment. If they made repairs for the machines more accessible, that would mean there'd be a huge cut into their pie. And while Taylor may claim that Kitch was resulting in unsafe alterations to their machines, it's pretty obvious that the store franchisees were forced into a corner where they needed to look to a third party for simple diagnostics. This is exactly why the DIY tech support company and right to repair advocacy group iFixit bemoaned Taylor's business practices to the U.S. U.S. Copyright Office. Fix-It spent years tirelessly petitioning the U.S. Copyright Office to challenge the digital locks placed by manufacturers who prioritize their payday over simple, inexpensive repairs. You see, the Copyright Office knew that the DMCA wasn't perfect when they passed it in 1998, so every 3 years...
They knew, but instead of really doing their research to flesh it out, they were just like, well, let's just go with it.
Copyright Office knew that the DMCA wasn't perfect when they passed it in 1998, so every 3 years, the Copyright Office allows folks to petition for exemptions to the DMCA rulings. Since 2003, iFixit has tirelessly focused...
And that shows another layer of laziness. Instead of appointing someone to go in and really like analyze every aspect and come out with a more cohesive act, they're just like, okay, if there's a problem, just put in a petition. We'll see about making amends then, which means that the people being affected have to put in the petition. They have to review it, go through all this red tape. It's just headache. It's a headache.
Focused on these sort of appeals, all in the name of right to repair. And also their own pockets, but still. They even worked on the first ever right to repair bill. And when it comes to DMCA, back in 2018, they petitioned the office and won an exemption for smartphones and home appliances. And 3 years later, they won exemptions for nearly all consumer equipment, medical devices, and vehicles. And finally, this year, it seems like they've done it again. This time, securing an exemption for the right to fix your own dang ice cream machine. According to the exemption,
which is ridiculous.
McDonald's ice cream machines and other retail-level food equipment can now be fixed in-house without a tailor technician gatekeeping your McFlurry. So, this is great news, right? I mean, it sounds like the chances of satisfying our sweet cravings are about to go up about 15%, at least according to McRoken's tracker. But while this exemption is incredible progress for the right to repair, it only addresses half the battle. Don't get me wrong, we all owe iFixit a huge thank you, and this really does advance the cause in a positive way. But remember that pesky Part 2 of DMCA Section 1201? Yeah. Unfortunately, the exemption only allows for the legal right to repair the machine yourself. It does not cover the right to create or purchase the tools that would help franchise owners solve the ice cream-related issues quickly and efficiently. So easy-to-use products like Kitsch still break the law. So unless the owner of your local Mickey D's is a tech whiz, it's unlikely that anyone but a trained engineer would be able to doctor a tailor machine. Which brings us almost back to where we started, standing in front of a broken McFlurry machine that only a skilled professional can hack. But we certainly aren't back to square one. The DMCA has been hindering our milkshake consumption since 1998, but we're slowly breaking out of its restraints, emerging every 3 years with another piece of the puzzle solved in our favor. And
it's the fact that it's every 3 years. Like, again, if they had the wherewithal to just put someone competent in charge of this, of putting this act together, someone to do all the research all at once and everything like a normal person would, and come out with a more cohesive, more understandable, more common sense version of this act, we wouldn't have to go through this every 3 years. But alas, this is where we're at.
I get it. We've waited patiently for so long, only to be blocked by a caveat to an exemption of a law that shouldn't be messing with me when I'm hangry in the first place. But this is really great news, and we're inching closer to the sweet taste of victory. Folks like us can also make a difference by writing to our state legislators in support of the Fair Repair Act. iFixit's website also directs you to a right to repair advocacy network.
And understand, when you're seeing this act that they're talking about, it's not just about the ice cream machines. It's about everything that they brought up here. Just being able to fix your own stuff, being able to do certain things, common sense things that you should be able to do anyway, you know, without getting blocked, without breaking the law, without getting some kind of copyright strike, DMCA notice or something like that, because not because you were downloading music or something, but because you were trying to fix something that is fixable and that you're capable of fixing without getting into actual trouble. It's just, man. So anybody who sees this and think, oh, we're just pandering for ice cream, it's way bigger than that. It just so happens that a strange random collection of events that the McFlurry is at the center of all this because of the machines and how they operate. But it has way more to do than just that.
works so that you can get involved wherever you live. Securing the right to fix our own ice cream machines actually brings a lot of hope for what we can accomplish in the future in order to make tech repairs easy and affordable for all. Until then, I guess McDonald's is going to have to add PhD in engineering to the requirements for employees, which I guess doesn't change much in this economy. But hey, that's just a theory. A food theory. Bon appetit. And hey, did you know that I did a video with mythical chef Josh? Click the link on the screen now to go watch that one. And as always, I'll see you next week.
All right, let me know if you guys want to see that video. But anyway, yeah, these laws, man, some of these laws make no sense whatsoever. And so hopefully they get this straightened out in another 3 years or 6 or 9. I swear. Oh man, but that's it for that one. So y'all know what to do. Go down in the comments. Let me know what y'all thought about this video and what y'all want to see me check out next. Let me know if you want to see me do that collab video they just mentioned. But as always, on to the next one.